Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Chenelle, the owner of 3 Balls Handmade Soaps and More. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this simple coffee soap. Alright y'all, so as always, I have everything out on my table that I am going to be working with. And first up, we have these coffee filters. I'm also going to be using some Maxwell House coffee. We got some cocoa powder, some buttermilk powder, and then everything else is pretty much the same. And then I also have my coffee maker in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off my table, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing I did was just make my coffee. Now I will have a recipe at the end of this video. I will have it linked down in the description in ounces, but I will also have a screenshot from Soap Calc at the end of the video if you want to try to attempt this or whatever the case may be. Now I did replace 100% of my liquid with coffee. Now as you can see, I did make quite a bit of coffee. That is because I needed this for more than just one soap. So keep that in mind whenever you go to make your coffee. Definitely do a smaller batch if you don't need as much. Alright, so here I am just weighing out my coffee, the amount of coffee that I need for this recipe. And once I did that, all I did was just stick it in the top of my fridge. You can definitely freeze your coffee if you prefer to put it in ice cubes or put it in an ice tray. Just, whichever one you prefer, freezing it or just letting it sit in the fridge for a few hours. Alright, so once my coffee was just about ready to come out of the fridge, I then started to weigh out the rest of my ingredients. Now here I am outside in my well-ventilated area, and we're going to add our sodium hydroxide directly into our coffee. Now, when you're working with sodium hydroxide, of course, you want to make sure that you take the necessary precautions to protect yourself. Now I did speed this part up, but you want to make sure that you are like stirring it, kind of like being very careful, because you don't want none of this to splash on you. That's why it's important to, again, take the necessary precautions to protect yourself. And you're just going to continue to stir until all of the lye or sodium hydroxide is dissolved. Here I am back inside. My lye solution has cooled down, as well as my oils and my butters. Now again, this soap, the recipe will be linked in the description, and I will also have a screenshot. I've posted this recipe before, so I will have a screenshot of this recipe at the end of this video. Now right here, I am just slowly adding in my lye solution directly into the oils, and then we're just going to stick blend until we reach our desired trace. Now, do keep in mind that I did leave out a few things. This video is not as detailed. So if you're looking for a more detailed video on soap making, I will have that link down below. And of course, you can always, follow those steps to recreate this soap as well. So alright, so once I reached my desired trace, it was then time for me to add my additives. Now, my milk powder of choice today was buttermilk powder. I did have a lot of supporters suggest that I use this, so we're going to give it a go. Now here I am just adding 1 teaspoon of buttermilk powder, and then I went in with I started with a half a teaspoon of cocoa powder just to kind of see where I was as far as the color of my soap. Now once I did that, I just kind of used my stick blender to kind of stir it up a little bit. You don't have to add your powders at trace. You can definitely add them in, but you can add them directly to your oils before you add your water lye solution. Now right here, I just went and sprinkled just a little bit of coffee grounds directly into my soap, and then we're just gonna, stir that up. Since this was my test soap, my test batch, I did not use any essential oil in this. I will be making this soap again, hot process, and I'll be adding, a few more things to that. So y'all be on the lookout for that video, coffee soap hot process. But here I am just, using the stick blender trying to get these coffee grounds blended up. And y'all, I wasn't really like feeling the color a little bit. So I personally felt like it could have been just a little bit darker. So I did go in with another half a teaspoon of cocoa powder. But so after I added in the other cocoa powder, another half a teaspoon of cocoa powder, I just used the stick blender to make sure everything was blended up together. And like I said earlier, you can definitely add your powders and your milk powders before you add your water lye solution or your lye solution. You can add your powders directly to your oils before you add your lye solution to your oils. You don't have to add them at trace like I do. Now right here I'm just scraping off my spatula because y'all, I was pleased with the color at this point, and it was time to add the soap to the mold. And if you are enjoying this video thus far, please consider leaving me a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comment section if you've made a coffee soap before and what all you like to put in your coffee soap when you make it. Again, this is my very first time adding milk to my coffee soap. A few of our supporters suggested that in one of my live streams. So y'all, I did it. I added some milk powder in there, and of course I'm going to give y'all a lather test on the live stream. But yeah. Now right here I have my soap in the mold, and it was a little soft at first. I did start this kind of off camera, so it was a little soft, but now here I am just going back over it again with the spoon so that way y'all can see how I do it. And it was just something very simple, y'all. I just took the back of the spoon and kind of just, just did a little something with the top. And I did go in with some coffee and just sprinkle that on the top to give it a little bit of decoration so that way it wouldn't look so plain. Alright y'all, now here we are about 24 hours later, and it was time for me to unmold my soap. If you're new to my channel, I do allow my soaps to go through gel phase. All I do is just place cover them up with a towel and just leave them on my table overnight. That's it. That's all. If you don't want your soaps to go through gel phase, then all you have to do is just pop them in the freezer and just stop it from going through gel phase. But I do personally allow mine to gel. All right, y'all, and here she is out of the mold, and from the looks of it, we did get a full gel. I'm so happy that I did go back in with another half a teaspoon of that cocoa powder. And if you want a lighter top, of course, you can always separate the two, split your batch in half, and color the bottom portion with the cocoa powder, and then just leave the top portion alone. So that right there will give you that two-tone look. Now right here, when I first cut that soap, that one piece off, right here you can see that I had a few drag marks. So at that point, all I did was just lay my soap on its side and didn't have any more issues with drag marks. Now right here, I am just showing the edges, and that darker brown, y'all see that darker brown? That dark brown will eventually cover the entire soap. For anyone that may be wondering about the outer portion being darker than the inside. So it will eventually be brown all over. Now here I am just lining up my soaps so that way we can go ahead and put the finishing touches on them, and all I'm going to do is just use my stamp. If you're new to my channel, I place a piece of cling wrap, saran wrap, in between my soap and my stamp, so that way I don't get any soap inside of my stamp. And just like that, y'all, we are all done. I think these came out really nice, even without me doing the two-tone. I do have another coffee soap video on my channel where I did split the batch off into two and make it two different colors. But other than that, I mean, I'm fine with it. And here is the recipe, y'all. This recipe has been posted before on my channel, but be sure to check it out and let me know what you guys think. And y'all, just like that, we are all done. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not done so already, please consider giving this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And to all of our wonderful supporters out there, we love and thank you guys so much. And until next time, I will see you guys later.